Alright friends, Rick Sharp back again, sharpstrengthtraining.com, and I'm going to touch a little bit more on my last video, which was about sports performance or sport specific training and functional training. And honestly, I had been lifting for a long time before the word core became the catchphrase, and everybody was having to be on a ball to do all this and that. And when that stuff came about, I already had a history of squatting, deadlifting, standing presses, so grabbing a bar and pushing up over your head. You learn a lot about how your body works when you're doing these exercises properly. Hinging at the hips, keeping your shoulder blades packed down, stabilizing your body. I mean, that's functional, really. Grabbing something heavy and picking it up off the ground and doing it the right way and learning how to do it correctly. Hinging your hips so you can build power for like jumping, taking off from a sprint, things like that. Stabilizing your body to where you can press a couple 100 pounds over your head. When all this core, fancy crap, kneeling on a ball, doing lateral raises with a third of the weight that you could do if you were gonna stand on the ground, it was child's play. Because I had a strong core, because I did real exercises that required core strength. Now, when you start doing these exercises, squatting and deadlifting and pressing over your head, you're going to figure out pretty quickly where your weak links are. So you go through corrective training phases to where, oh man, why I failed on this lift was whatever shows up. It could be a weak core. Could be instability somewhere, your upper back, your traps, lower traps, something you can't really stabilize. You have a hard time stabilizing your upper back for squatting or pressing overhead or whatever. You find out where those weak links are, and then you do a period of training building that strength up. There's a specific program that you follow for a couple weeks to correct whatever's wrong, and then you get back to loading weights on the bar again and finding out if there's another weak link that pops up and address it as it comes up. I mean, that's just, to me, it's common sense. But people will base their entire training around never picking up anything heavy, and they're standing on one foot doing stuff and whatever, and it's like, man, this isn't the circus. In real life, I never had to do that, but I have had to pick stuff up. I've had to run really fast. So I think that type of work, your basic compound movements are the most functional things you can do, and there's a strong carryover. You start learning how to hinge your hips, sitting back and picking up something off the floor, or Olympic lifts. I know that's not for everyone. A lot of people are just too screwed up for it. There's going to be certain exercises that you're more suited to. The distance between your joints, the length of your bones, how wide your hips are. Certain things you're going to excel at, certain exercises. A lot of people just don't have healthy enough joints or a good enough range of motion to do Olympic lifts, but everyone can figure out a certain variation, whether you're doing deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts. They're all fine. They're all perfectly acceptable. Don't confuse the two. If you're putting 350 pounds and you're doing the trap bar with the high handles, don't tell people you're deadlifting that much. I mean, a deadlift is a deadlift. A trap bar deadlift is a trap bar deadlift. Rack deadlifts are rack deadlifts. There's going to be a difference in all of them. But keep the ego out of it. People get carried away with too much stuff. This has got to be a certain way. This is the best way. This is the only way to do it. Find what works good for you. Pay attention to what's causing you to fail, and then correct it, and then get back on track. All right? Hope this is helpful. Keep things simple. Do what works. Pay attention to your body, and have great workouts. All right, see you guys.